Well, I think first of all, like when people pick up the game, radically different isn't really what the game is about. Like to me, the best parallel is to say, I watched Fellowship of the Ring, and when I go watch Two Towers, what am I going to see that's totally different? Are there going to be spaceships? Are there going to be, giant robots? What is different in the game, or not the game, but the movie? And it's like, well, no, it's Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. It's all one big piece. That's kind of, to me, what God of War is. It is a continuation. It is a giant piece. It's a story that we're trying to tell. With that said, there's a lot of stuff that we're adding to the game, a lot of new mechanics, all new weapons. The weapon switching is a whole lot more responsive than it was in the last game, allowing you to switch mid-combo. So it really has that, square with the chains, quickly switch on R2 to the hammer, hit him, launch him up with a hammer, switch back over to the bow, fire it at him. It really opens up these possibilities of just doing these limitless combos. That was a big thing for us, is that we realized too late in the development of the first one how we wanted to integrate these things. And we were like, all right, well, that's cool. We know that we can do this in the next one. Other big things that I think we've changed are moments in God of War 1 that you experienced through the videos, through the cinematics. We've really put that into gameplay now. Big push for me is when I saw that Kronos video in the first game, I was like, I want to do that. I want to climb on Kronos. I want to get up to that. That's awesome. And we were all kind of on the same page. We were like, yeah, we got to do this, but this time doesn't permit. We had a bigger agenda for the whole game, and it still fit within the story to do what we were doing there. So that was a big push on this one, to really make moments like that all in gameplay. So you really experience, there's still story moments. There's still the story being told through the high-res cinematics as well as in-game cinematics, but a lot more emphasis on playing the story. I think it's hard to make Kratos more badass than he already is. He's pretty badass. Because that was like the edict throughout the development of God of War 1 was like, anybody who talked to Dave about like, what is this character all about? He'd be like, he's badass. He's badass. He's this brutal, like warrior who has an agenda, has a single focus, this focus of revenge, and that's what he does. He, I think, is more badass because of the things he's able to do in gameplay now, the bigger things. Taking on, in the opening of the game, you're taking on the Colossus, this wonder of the ancient world, and being able to kind of, in sort of a Rocky vein, getting thrown around, but still kind of getting back up and standing right back up to him, and just not flinching, going and fighting him. So there's more of those David versus Goliath type moments within the game that really sell his personality, his never gonna quit attitude, and that kind of is pervasive not only through the story and the things that he's going through, but also in the moments in the gameplay that you're actually doing. Like, we have a cinematic, you hop on the Pegasus, and the cinematic, you just go. It's like, well, that's stupid. That's the whole point of what we want to do with this game, is don't just show it, do it. Let them do it. So it isn't one of those things that it is integral to the entire game. It is part of the story, and it is something that you do to kind of get you from one place to the other. But we never treated it like that. We never wanted it to be like, well, whatever, it's just, you're just going to be on a chariot and ride through the city and hit somebody and then it's over. It's like, that's fine. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted it to be of the same caliber as the rest of the game. The idea that Kratos can just, what would he do in that situation? He'd freaking jump off the Pegasus, thousands of feet above the earth, and like attack these guys and then rip the wings off and then just jump back. And the Pegasus would catch him. Like those kinds of moments, those sort of visceral, exciting moments, that's what we wanted to capture in that. And I think we really did. I think it worked out really well, and it isn't really a huge aspect. When you look at the total game time of like 15 to 17 hours, it's very small in comparison to that, but that's kind of the philosophy of this game, is every time you turn the corner, you're doing something different. Well, there's a lot of aspects of mythology that we sort of either hinted towards or just didn't really focus on. Obviously, we have the Pegasus, bringing in the Colossus. I loved the story of Rhodes, the idea of the city that was besieged in a long, lengthy war, and when they finally reached an agreement and the war ended, they sort of, in celebration, had built this great city, built this fantastic monument to their prosperity now, their victory, and their independence. So this Colossus of Rhodes, this fantastic thing. So I loved that, and I wanted to kind of bring that more into the story. I think the Titans are a really big aspect of the story, and they've sort of played a part in the background. And it's as if we were in a picture of God of War 1, and now in God of War 2 we're pulling out that picture and seeing more of it, and seeing all these things that are kind of connected. And, if everything aligns correctly with the game, maybe in the third one we'll be pulling back even further and completing this story to show, like, wow, this is kind of the plan that we've had the entire time.